Miss Rabbit must be a clone, because 90% of the town's workforce is just her.
Every town needs a Miss Rabbit.
That's right.
Miss Rabbit is a train driver, a rescue helicopter pilot, a supermarket checkout worker, a librarian, a taxi driver, a train driver, a school bus driver, a nurse, a firefighter, and even a gift shop owner on the moon. We're not kidding. Miss Rabbit holds more jobs than the rest of the cast combined, and is single-handedly holding up the economy, public services, and possibly gravity itself. And what happens if Miss Rabbit takes a day off? The entire Peppa Pig universe collapses into chaos. So today we're breaking down all the clues that explain how she does it all, because she's either the most dedicated citizen in cartoon history, or something very weird is going on. Let's investigate. Let's start with the wildest explanation, but also the one with the most evidence. There isn't just one Miss Rabbit, there are clones. Think about it. How else could she drive a train, fly a helicopter, run a supermarket, sell ice cream, and still have time to host museum tours, all in one day? Every time she shows up, she's already dressed for the next job. Coincidence? Or maybe clones. And it's not just a theory. The show literally tells us. In the USA special, a 4-part adventure where Peppa and her family travel to America, we don't just see Miss Rabbit doing her usual juggling act. We see multiple Miss Rabbits at the same time, in different jobs, in different towns. In the very first episode, Miss Rabbit from England is flying the plane.
This is your captain speaking. We'll soon be arriving in America.
When they land, another Miss Rabbit is already there, driving a taxi, and they're on screen at the same time. Peppa's family is confused.
You're Miss Rabbit? Every town needs a Miss Rabbit.
It's the first official confirmation that these are not just different jobs, they are different rabbits. The taxi-driving Miss Rabbit doesn't stop there. In New York, she's suddenly doing a guided tour of the city, selling ice cream at the Empire State Building, and hiring out a motorhome to the family. This Miss Rabbit is just as busy as her clone in England. In the next episode, Peppa's family stops at a countryside diner. And guess who's cooking eggs, singing, and dancing?
Oh, it's another Miss Rabbit. Yep, there's a lot of us around.
Then, in Canyon Country, yet another Miss Rabbit turns up, this time giving guided tours by helicopter and through the canyon caves. She's literally introduced with,
There's a lot of us about.
By this point, Peppa should be wondering if she's in some kind of rabbit-themed simulation. But the moment that proves this isn't just one hyperactive bunny doing every job on Earth comes in the final episode, Hollywood. When Peppa finally arrives at the television studio, the 4 Miss Rabbits from across the US are already there.
It is Miss Rabbit, Miss Rabbit, Miss Rabbit, and Miss Rabbit.
And then, the original Miss Rabbit arrives too.
Look, it's all Miss Rabbit.
All 5 Miss Rabbits stand together, identical, smiling, and absolutely real. It's no longer just a theory, it's canon. There are Miss Rabbit clones all over the world. Clue 2, rabbits multiply. Okay, maybe we don't need to go full sci-fi, because if there's one thing we know about rabbits, it's that they multiply. So what if the reason Miss Rabbit can be in so many places at once is because there are just that many Miss Rabbits? Not clones, not robots, just a giant bunny family. Let's start with what we do know. Miss Rabbit and Mummy Rabbit are confirmed identical twins, revealed in the episode Miss Rabbit's Day Off.
That'll be my sister.
So if there are 2 identical sisters, could there be more? Maybe loads more? And here's the weird part. In Mummy Rabbit's bump, Miss Rabbit is working at the hospital when Mummy Rabbit turns up clearly about to give birth, and Miss Rabbit says,
Hello, sister. What are you doing here? I'm having a baby, remember?
What? If they're close sisters, and we've seen them be close in episodes like Mirrors, where Miss Rabbit lovingly cradles one of the twins, how would she forget her own sister was pregnant? Unless that Miss Rabbit isn't the same one. One fan theory on Reddit suggests there are so many identical sisters and cousins that even they've lost track of what each other are doing. Imagine a whole extended rabbit family, identical in voice, looks, and work ethic, spread across the globe, casually running every single shop, ride, and vehicle in the Peppa Pig universe. It would explain why Miss Rabbit is always already in uniform, why she never seems tired, why she never forgets a job, but sometimes forgets her own family's pregnancy. So maybe it's not cloning, maybe it's just biology. And if so, it begs one very important question for the next clue. Why do the Miss Rabbits all seem so secretive? Clue 3. The spy theory. Okay, this one sounds like a movie plot, but it might actually be the most believable theory of them all. Let's rewind to the episode The Queen. In it, Miss Rabbit is honored for being
the hardest working person in the country.
Do you think the Queen hands out knighthoods to random supermarket workers? No, she's being awarded for something bigger. Miss Rabbit might be one of the top agents in the Queen's Animal Intelligence Network, and every job she takes is just a cover for a classified mission. Ice cream stand, surveillance post, helicopter pilot, extraction unit, recycling center, evidence disposal, gift shop on the moon, well, that one's obvious, space ops. Every time something dramatic happens in the show, Miss Rabbit just happens to already be there, ready, trained, and fully uniformed. That's not customer service. That's field ops. In fact, a fan theory from Reddit also suggests that all her jobs are part of an undercover operation. And just to make this theory even harder to ignore, the London episode drops an extra juicy clue. Madame Gazelle and Miss Rabbit have taken Peppa and her friends on a sightseeing trip to London. While they're figuring out what landmark to visit first, Miss Rabbit casually tells the kids,
My friend the Queen lives in London. Maybe she can help.
Wait, what? They turn up outside Buckingham Palace. Miss Rabbit rings the palace doorbell and the Queen answers immediately.
Oh, Miss Rabbit, come in, come in.
You don't just call up the Queen and turn up at her place unless you're very well connected, or you work for her. So maybe that Queen's medal wasn't for community service. Maybe it was a classified commendation for her best spy. But even a super spy can't be everywhere at once, right? Unless Miss Rabbit has figured out a way to be in two places at the exact same time. More on that in our next clue. Clue 4. She has a time machine, probably. Let's go full conspiracy for a second. How does Miss Rabbit get from space, to the supermarket, to the library, all in one day? A theory is she owns a time machine. In Miss Rabbit's Day Off, Mummy Rabbit and others try to fill in at every job Miss Rabbit has, but it's impossible to juggle driving the bus, serving ice cream, and ringing up groceries in the same day. And if you still think time travel is too wild, let's talk about the Golden Boots. In that special, Miss Rabbit casually runs a gift shop on the moon, seriously. And somehow later that day, she's already back on Earth, happily running her ice cream stall at the puddle jumping competition. Now, unless there's some kind of lunar express we don't know about, the only logical explanation is Miss Rabbit's got a time machine hidden behind her moon souvenirs. It would explain everything. She's got her own schedule, her own physics, and probably her own timeline. And here's the biggest piece of evidence yet. In the spin-off series, Peppa Pig Tales, there's an actual episode called Miss Rabbit's Time Traveling Machine. Miss Rabbit casually introduces Peppa and her friends to a fully working time machine, because apparently driving every vehicle and running every shop wasn't enough of a flex. The kids step inside and explore the age of dinosaurs. So, was this Miss Rabbit dropping a subtle hint to her real secret? Either way, while everyone else is on normal Peppa Pig time, Miss Rabbit is out here resetting clocks and jumping through wormholes so she can get to the library and put out a fire at the same time. Clue 5. She really does it all. Alright, this theory isn't wild or weird. Maybe Miss Rabbit really is holding the entire economy of Peppa Town together. Forget clones, spies, or secret twins. It's just her. Is she fueled by endless carrot smoothies? Is she secretly earning millions from every job? Or maybe it's pure rabbit adrenaline keeping her going. Whatever the reason, Miss Rabbit genuinely seems to love it.
Yes.
Why? Maybe because she's the only one who actually can. When she briefly stopped, everything came to a hilarious standstill.
Oh, what would we do without Miss Rabbit?
So whether she's a clone, a spy, a triplet, or just the world's most overworked rabbit, Miss Rabbit is the glue holding the Peppa-verse together. Let us know your favorite Miss Rabbit moment in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe before Miss Rabbit ends up running this YouTube channel too.
What a long day.
And if you're still craving more Peppa Pig theories, secrets, and hilarious deep dives, check out our other videos on screen now.